So what you would have wanted to have happen, right, is maybe the Gilneas go in, right? And maybe you initially have some scouting done by some Worgen or something. You know,
maybe Tess actually makes herself useful in some capacity by showing that she's a rogue, by showing that she has access to the things like the resources of the uncrowned, and turns around and goes, well, all my rogue stuff has brought here's a stealth potion, come with me, let's scout the area first.
Yeah.
And then Tess can give dialogue, and she's walking around, she goes, yes, this building where my father and I blah 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 blah
blah blah blah blah.
Or this is where Liam and I as kids would play in this thing and we would do this thing.
Blah, 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 blah.
And then you see like a Scarlet, you see a Scarlet like setting a fucking playground on fire.
Could you
and
stop making this so goddamn painful? Yes, you do that. You overhear Scarlets talking, and you know perhaps the Gilneas themselves perhaps get their asses handed to them, or maybe or see more resistance. Callia, Callia
she was
is
literally there.
So yeah, here's the thing with Callia. You know, if you wanted, well, again, how are they ever going to try to use Callia's nature as this bizarre light undead? Because
they can't.
What you could do is I don't know if light people can like sense things going on. I don't think they can.
Everyone can. It's all magic.
Okay,
it's all soft magic the whole way down.
So
anyone can do whatever the story needs.
You know the way that Fairbell just turns into the light and still talks with her normal voice while she is the light. So you know the way Fairbell turns into the light. You know, what if that's just this business going on as something Callia can kind of, recognize, or just. There are so many ways you can bring the Forsaken in, and I feel like because they didn't have time, they decided, nope, in media res, right in. They're there, accept it, accept they need to be there. But then the problem is they never convinced us that they needed to be there, because we go from 4 Gilneas to victory in like 2 seconds. And at least for me, whenever that happened, I don't know if I'm just really forgetful, but I didn't really notice any undead while I was doing any of this.
I definitely didn't pay as much attention to shit.
Were they wearing different clothes or something?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember. I need to go back and like watch over the footage of doing it to pay attention to things.
What did the Forsaken do? Because I remember they showed, it was the promotional shot of this on the Kalani video where the Forsaken were like throwing blight. Now the thing is, I didn't see an ounce of blight when I was there, or blight thrower.
Yeah, because obviously if they were throwing blight into the area, then the Worgen couldn't fight there.
Yeah, so they must have been doing something outside.
Cleanse the area, clean the blight, then move in would be what you would do if you were gassing a place.
So
but instead they were just like, it's there, whatever.
So were the Forsaken sort of gallivanting about the outside, dealing with like? What were they doing?
I don't know.
I feel like it should be really clear, other than I have a Lillian button that's on my screen.
I mean, I think that's okay, but it just being the Lillian button didn't really make sense, because Lillian's kind of, I don't know why it was a Lillian story again. I don't know why it's like, Lillian, why are you here? Don't you have a history with the Scarlets? You're like, yes, I do. We covered that in the Forsaken Heritage Quest. But just as a reminder, I am not one of them. The day I died, I was not become them, whatever, etc. That kind of thing. Like,
I was not become them.
Yeah, and you're like, why? Like, why did you not do that with Callia? Why has Callia not been like, this is not what the light's true intention is? This is not what the light is supposed to be used for? Because you're against the Scarlets. You could have at least had a different conception of the Scarlets are bad for different reasons. I know there was talk of like the Scarlets using like fire and stuff like that, and they were talking about like holy fire or something, so it was a little bit of a lean into the stuff they're talking about with Hollowfall and all of that. But to me, I'm just sat going, man, why? Before the chapel, there's blight throwers being blocked by giant light shields. Cool. Well, that's there's maybe a little bit of like environmental detail that the nature of this quest takes 15 minutes and there's 40,000 people on giant mounts.
Yeah,
kind of detracts from, but. There is this, Callia should have been, at least, because you think about how it's the Scarlets and the Forsaken again, and you go, that's kind of cringe. There's no history with the Worgen and the Scarlets. It's like super intense. There's obviously a bit, but not too much. What what was it? Why was this? Was this supposed to be a Worgen quest at all? And you could have maybe, if you wanted to hammer in and this is the part where they had a lot of ideas and a lot of things they wanted to accomplish, and they kind of didn't really accomplish any of them too well, because they wanted this to be, Gen understands it by being closed off and actually not, not liking the Forsaken for very good reason was a bad idea or something. They wanted to get that forgiveness of the Forsaken in, and these are different people now. So they could have done that by, here's something only the Forsaken can do. Here's something the Worgen are physically incapable of, so the Forsaken have a capacity to this. And maybe it's because of Blight, maybe it's because of Callia. Maybe it's the thing of Callia has, I had an idea where Callia being who she is could have some sort of special anti-light stuff. She talks to the apothecary, I can't remember his name. The apothecary the one who helped to develop the blighting. Imagine if he's we've developed this thing, it's called a light eater. Because we used the blight eater and we scrubbed out the bee. We've got a light eater now. We can go in and we can eat up the light shields and the Worgen can finally break through or something like that. It's too dangerous for the Forsaken because we're weak to light, but we've developed this weapon because Callia, as our leader, has these unique capacity. They could have done that, and that would have been fully deep into the Forsaken helped us at great personal sacrifice, so the Worgen have a little bit of forgiveness to them, but still were able to make their way through. Could have done that. Could have went ham on Tess. Could have been Tess shows up and she shows she's doing what Gen never could. She did a little bit of that in forgiving the Forsaken and helping Lillian along the way, but in her personal stuff, there was never a case of, she may not be a Worgen, but she's a Worgen at heart because of all this stuff she did. They could have went double down on that. Or they could have had it be a case of the Worgen people and their unique characteristics, their unique rage, their unique ability to do whatever they do, run on all fours, is actually what saved the day. And there's all of these things that they could have done a little bit better, a little bit more intense, a little bit more. Here's the idea. What are we trying to do with this quest? What are we telling players? What do you want them to feel? What character do you want to develop? And they kind of just went, all of it. And it feels like just checking off boxes.
Not once in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just checking off little boxes.
10 minutes? Oh wait, we just lost 5 minutes, Matt. We can't lose any more.
Yeah, so...
No, it was 45 seconds long, the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I think put it simply, and this is distinctly unfair because we don't know. Well, okay, it's that weird thing, right? Something can be fair to a customer, unfair in expectation, as an example, unfair to a developer or the developers, but be fair to the company. So everything here, I want to be fair to the customers. I think that's, well, okay, to do a TLDR. Our stealth potioning about, let's keep the stealth potions. Then either, because of something with Callia, which maybe explains why she's the character there, to the protestation of everybody. That is the thing, Callia is not a particularly popular character. I just think
Queen Callia, get it right.
Oh yeah, whoever made that typographical error was a typographical error, wasn't it? Blizzard definitely wasn't real. The Pallid Lady. Pallid Lady. So should have gone stealthing. We should have maybe done some little probing attacks at little parts of the front. Where we're actually seeing what's going on with these Scarlets. What are they doing? Learning more about them, and then you sort of start to transition into sort of you clean out your areas, so maybe you set up your siege works or whatever it is, and you actually kind of make it roll. We have to reclaim Gilneas and retake the city because there's the rest of the land. And if you want to actually make people who played Worgen back in 2010 happy, you've got to do more than just that bit in the middle. And I know that as an example, as the kids, is it the Blackwalled? the kids you say from the forest, and then they're later as adults. And there's loads of like nice touches and stay a while and listens and
Plenty
stuff
of
they did. And that is exactly why I'd say that the expectation of what it should have been is a fair one for customers to have. It's a fair desire for the developers to build. Why didn't they?